Today we can bring in Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, a former US ambassador and distinguished fellow at the Atlantic Council. Good to have you with us. I appreciate you sharing your time. Just hearing there from Mahmoud Abbas, you know, he could have spent his time criticising the Trump administration. At the end of the day, he gave that address from Ramallah because he wasn't allowed to travel to New York. He could have criticised, you know, American support for Israel. Instead, he only spoke about looking forward to potentially working with the Trump administration to try and secure peace. What did you make of the tone and the placement of those words in those speech?
Thank you so much for having me. I believe he gave a very serious speech, and frankly, the best one he could. He took advantage of the platform that was provided him and said all the right things with regard to pursuing a serious peace with Israel and in the confines of the current circumstance. So he spoke about the tragedy on both sides. He condemned Hamas very clearly, made very clear they would have no role in the future of Palestinian governance. Made sure that the world understands that Palestinians will not be leaving their homeland, that they are there for the duration. So the only way forward is indeed peace. And he made clear that he is willing to work with those who are in a position to make it happen. That is the Trump administration. That is the proposal that has come forward from Arab partners and the Trump administration to move forward. It was the best he could do.
That old phrase goes, actions speak louder than words. To what degree do you think those words can elicit actions in due course?
Well, therein is the challenge, because it's unlikely that his speech can move the needle forward to get a ceasefire in place or even to ensure that people believe what he's saying and go forward. So he had to set the table with the speech. No one can gainsay that. We've seen the criticisms from the Israeli government, frankly, reduced to commenting on a pin that he wore, but not the content of the speech itself. He twice mentioned recognition of Israel's right to exist, that they would have to be neighbors. That is the reality. But moving it forward still lies largely in the hands of the Prime Minister of Israel and what he is willing to do to stop the conflict in Gaza, particularly Gaza City, to save the hostages and to stop the killing of Palestinian people, including civilians.
There's another kind of personal challenge, is there not, for Mahmoud Abbas? You know, he said that, and all sides would stand by this, that Hamas can have no role in any future governance of the Palestinian people, and that will be supported by all aspects. But there is also that personal element that, you know, he is 89 years old. He has been in office since 2005, and so much of the work that's been done has been centred around him and his term in office. What about a future replacement, the future progress, you know, for the Palestinian Authority itself? You know, there are challenges there too now.
There are considerable challenges, and this is often the challenge for leaders, which is moving off the stage in a timely fashion. Mahmoud Abbas has not done so. There have been criticisms of him for years that he is still in place, that he has not selected a clear successor or allowed elections to do so. There have been challenges with regard to corruption. It's one of the reasons that he lost support from Arab partners because of charges of corruption, because of mismanagement. He does need to relinquish the field. There are several capable Palestinian technocrats who can come after, and indeed the United States and Arab partners know who they are and are prepared to work with them. So he does need to. He's 89. We know the challenges of elderly leaders. It's more frequent in the region, but he has this challenge to leave the stage.
There's certainly no sense, as we watch him now, of him wanting to slow down, if indeed he will do. I'm just interested, you can talk there and reference the Arab states and also Western partners. You know, notable that France and Saudi Arabia co-hosted that session together, Mohammed bin Salman and Emmanuel Macron. How important are those co-partnerships in trying to bring about some sustainable, lasting solution to this issue that, let's be honest, has gone on for decades?
Great question. In fact, very important indeed. These are two key actors representing Europe and the partners in the region. Keeping in mind the utter destruction of Gaza is going to take billions, estimates $50 billion to repair and replace. That money largely is going to come from the region. So the Saudi role is key. And of course, President Trump has made very clear how important the Saudis are to him and the future of the region. And at some point, once this war is over, hopefully a rapprochement with Israel. France, as part of the European Union, taking the bold step to recognize a Palestinian state, hopefully is leading others to do so, because this is, while symbolic, a very important step forward, just a step that hopefully will bring additional pressure to get this conflict to end. And this is the way forward.
Distinguished Fellow at the Atlantic Council, former US Ambassador Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.